screen. Then select the boot from CD-ROM option using your keyboard. Then setup should launch and you should have three options. Typically, you want to click Start Windows 98 Setup from CD-ROM, but sometimes if you need to repair your existing OS or manage some files, or if the install is not working properly, you want to click Start Computer with CD-ROM support, but that's only to troubleshoot issues. I had to do that on my old PC once when 98 wasn't installing. But once you select the first option, you should see the Setup Welcome screen. Just press Enter to continue, and then select configure unallocated disk space. And then if your disk is greater than 512 megabytes, select yes, enable launcher support. And then the PC should restart and select boot from CD-ROM once again. Now, if it's set unallocated disk space, because I had a brand new, it's a virtual machine with no files on the disk, but you might be given partition options, and you would want to select the partition you want to install Windows 98 to. But now it's formatting the disk, and remember, when it gets to this part, any data that was on the disk will be erased when you're formatting the disk. So make sure to back up your files if you have any before installing Windows 98. And you could do that by selecting the Start Computer with CD-ROM support we saw earlier. Or if you have another OS installed, you could use that to do it. But again, formatting is complete and the setup's preparing. To continue, just press Enter. Now this is the scan disk option, and what's happening is checking your hard drive for errors. I don't think you would skip this. So even if it takes a long time, just let it happen. I tried, but it actually quit setup. So it's so it'll be done in a bit. Okay, so that's complete. Now the system should take you to the graphical part of the setup. Just select continue. If mouse isn't working, use the enter key. And this is where the setup prepares to install Windows 98. In my computer, it's got stuck in 99%. If that happens, just wait. For me, it took like 15 minutes, but it will get here. Once it does, select the first option, then click next. You could change the directory name, but I recommend just selecting Windows and clicking next. And here it says preparing directory. Just wait for it to complete. And once you okay, so here's checking available disk space. You may want to make sure that your computer has enough free space to install Windows 98. Typical options is usually what you pick, but I'm going to go to click custom because let's check out what options you could enable or disable. If you have accessibility needs, you could enable some accessibility tools like magnifier. Now remember, to select additional options such as accessibility, just select the option, click details. You could also double click it. Let's see, in accessories we have briefcase if you want to sync files between PCs using a very early sync technology. You could enable games, desktop wallpapers. You could even, so basically check an item to install it and uncheck it to not install it. So you could, for example, not install Paint. Quick View is basically a file viewer before you end up that you could see without requiring a program to view the file. Address book, communications. Usually these are very outdated, obsolete technology. You probably wouldn't need that unless you do have a dial-up connection on your old PC and you use it, but I doubt many people do. Desktop themes. Again, if you could double click it or click the details button to select individual desktop themes. We have networking tools. You usually don't need these internet tools, just leave it as is. Remember, if you don't want to, if you could just also select the checkbox without clicking the details button to select all items or no items. In multimedia, we have audio compression, CD player. You could enable sample sounds, multimedia sound schemes, so different sound effects for your PC. There's volume control CD player that you might be interested in. Okay, so I would keep the web TV unchecked because that's a really early version of Windows Media Center, and it probably doesn't work anymore. So here, click next and enter your computer name, and I would leave the work group field as is. You may type a computer description, but you could leave it blank as well. Select your keyboard settings. I have it in United States. If you need to change it, click the change button and then select your language and start copying the files. This is where the main installing happens. It's going to take a long time, so I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back. I'll see you back in a bit. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, I resumed the recording when it was 98%. Haha, get it? 98. Anyway, once it's done, it's going to take a while. This option is going to come. You want to click Restart Now button to restart your PC. If you didn't click it, it'll restart automatically. Now, Windows start getting ready to run for the first time. So this Windows 98's install is going to ask for some additional information, however. Okay, so Windows restarting. Okay, user information, just type in your name and the company name. I'm just wrote in home because it's a home computer. Well, it's a virtual machine, but I have a home computer that runs 98. If accept the license agreement and click next, this is where you entered the product key. I'm going to pause this video because I can't just reveal my product key, and I'll be back when I finish typing it. Just click next when you're done. Okay, so all the big stuff is finished, so it's ready. Just click finish to uh, finalize the process, setup process. This is our Windows 98 starts the driver installation part. It's going to try to detect your PC and see what drivers are available and install them. If they're not available, you'll be stuck with some basic drivers or some device may not work and you'll need to manually install it. This takes a long time, so I'm going to pause the video and I'll come back in a bit. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so here I hope it's been a long time right now. So okay then. Oh, good, it's done. Okay, it's been a while. So Windows is still detecting more drivers. Again, it's going to take a long time. Plug and play of drivers. So I'll pause it. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I resumed it at 98%. Ha ha ha. Okay, Windows is now setting up hardware plug and play. This may also take a long time. Okay, it's done. Just simply click restart now. Now we should be starting the final stage of our setup. This part should not take that long. By the way, this part takes a long time. I'm just intentionally not pausing it because if it's basically doing some updating in the background. If you're stuck in here, just be patient and let it do its thing. Okay. This is the final stage. Windows is again finishing the driver installation process. You should see the clock setup screen. Select your time zone and click OK. It's now setting up control panel, adding shortcuts to the start menu, installing Windows Help, and okay, so it's updating the system. Again, this might take a long time, so I'll be pausing the video and I'll see you back when this is done. Okay, it's done, and we should restart the computer. Just click the restart now button, or you could wait and it's going to restart automatically. Now we should see the normal desktop, Windows 98 desktop now. Again, I'm going to pause the video because this takes a long time. There you go, I'm back. Yeah, so you could see the Windows 8 98 desktop color. This user information, click OK. If you have password, type that in. Now it's trying to find the drivers and detecting hardware. As you can see, Windows 98 is not finding my hardware, so it's going to keep up the default settings or default hardware. And we should be on the desktop once it loads. Okay, we're on the desktop. And this is the welcome screen, and we can't hear any sounds because I did not install the sound drivers or did not find any sound drivers. So okay, so we have the PC installed and good to go. As you can see, the stuff are installed. I'm going to try to device manager to see which drivers are missing. Oh yeah, you could find that by right-clicking my computer. So let's do that. Properties, and then select device manager from the top. And you could see we have some question marks, some drivers that can't find, and for the display adapters, it's using some basic display hardware, so we're running in very low resolution and color. It looks very ugly, frankly, so, but we'll fix that. Go to properties and go to settings. As you can see, we're only running in 16 colors and we can't increase the resolution. So yeah, you could run in 2 colors, but that's a worst option, so probably don't want that. Okay, so what we'll do is, what you need to do right now is find the drivers that came with your computer. You have to know what hardware is in there and find the disk from the device manufacturer. My old PC has an ATI driver and I have the ATI disk. The appropriate driver for your hardware needs to be installed. You can't just install any driver, otherwise you will crash your computer and cause a blue screen. I'm running this on a virtual machine, VMware, and VMware gives you drivers for Windows 98. So what I'm going to do is insert the VMware driver CD and install the drivers. Again, for a physical PC like I have my old PC, you'll need separate driver installation disks for sound, video, network, internet, mouse, keyboard, perhaps. Most likely not mouse and keyboard, but USB devices, you'll need hard drivers for those. So I'm just installing the VMware drivers. Now the VMware drivers will install a lot of devices, including I believe USB support and graphics drivers. It does not, for some reason, install the sound drivers. You have to install it manually. I'll have, if I could find the driver on their website, I'll have a link in the description and the YouTube video description. I'll also put a lot of other helpful links in the YouTube video description. So if you need those, you could check those out. Okay, so drivers have been installed, and again, this is going to take a long time, so I'm going to pause the video. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, the color has been enhanced. The teal color looks much better, and the title bar, as you can see, has a gradient. So, yay for the graphics. And the tour also looks nice. Again, you can't hear any sounds because I have to install the sound drivers. Well, guys, thank you for watching this video. This is only the first part. My next video will be about updating Windows 98